Welcome to the Flat Racing Guru. Right, welcome to the Flat Racing Guru. Good morning. This is 23rd of January. It's a Wednesday. There's two meetings locally on the flat, all weather. That's this afternoon from Lingfield and tonight from Kempton. Right, I've just thought of something. What we'll do is we'll go through the races separately. I'll try and get this out before the 12:40. So I'll do the 12:40 at Lingfield Park. We'll go down the field. Number one is Cracker Christine Dunnett, ridden by Kevin Lundy. Number two is Our Charlie Brown, David Griffiths, Alistair Rowland. Number three is Ford, Mohammed Mubrak, Ben Curtis. Number four is In the Red, Mr. M. Smith. I'm not sure it is Mike Smith. Ian Walsh. Number 5 is Velvet Morn, William Knight, Callum Shepherd. Number 6, Garth Rocket, Mike Murphy, Shane Kelly. Number 7, Mont Kiora, Simon Dow, Luke Morris. Number 8, Mokalov, Jane Chapel-Hyam, Adam Kirby. Number 9 is Scratched. Number 10 is Noble Deed, Mike Atwater, Nicola Curry. Right, we'll have a quick look at the ratings. So on the ratings here, the postmarks, the top one, Cracker, is best in 75. That's with the claim. Now, these days, trainers, you know, they can beat the handicap system. They can condition their horse, you know, to run past its figure. So we'll go down the race individually and look at the prices. Right, number 8, Mokalov is the favourite. Now Mokalov is ridden by Adam Kirby. I would give him a good chance depending on the pace of the race. If the pace of the race is pretty strong, so basically it would have to, you know, look in running. But if the pace isn't strong, I wouldn't be fancying Mokalov. If the pace was strong, there's one or two in here that would benefit from a strong pace, and there's another one that's a much bigger price as Mokalov that I would say has got a decent chance. But last time out, Mokalov, he was cruising sort of thing and just couldn't get through. Whether he would have won, nobody knows. But you know, he was on the bridle all the way around. So you know, if he had got a clear passes, more likely he would have won that race. Behind Makbula, and that race was, there's another interesting factor in that race too, and we'll have a look at it. Now Monchiora, sorry, number 7 Monchiora is 92, Luke Morris. Now Luke Morris gets on well with this horse, but this horse does need a lot of driving. It probably needs quite a decent pace, but I don't think Monchiora is pace dependent. If Monchiora's, you know, you know, in position to win the race from a furlong, it'll get the Luke Morris treatment, and it's probably got a chance of place. I would say a smaller chance to win, because it does need a lot of driving, and anything coming wide and late is going to go past that Monchiora, because he doesn't do anything fast really. He takes a bit of getting there. Now number 6, Garth Rocket, it's very interesting. Now Garth Rocket, if he can control the pace. Now, the last race, he was beaten by Makbula, and several of these were in that race. Now, Garth Rocket they went a really fast pace in that race. I think there was one horse trying to match Garth Rocket. I'm not sure what the horse was. I'll have to have a look, but there was a horse, you know, upsetting Garth Rocket's pace. So he was trying to take Garth Rocket on. So Garth Rocket really, in the circumstances, ran a cracker of a race, you know, just finished where he did. Now, if Garth Rocket control this race, he could strike from the front and not be caught. That's what I was thinking. Now, if it is a fast pace, you've got the likes of Monchiora and especially Mokalov coming late. And now there's another one that's also been, like, you know, running over a shorter distance, but seem to be coming into the race strongly. Now, if you give it another I'll have a look. This says Velvet Morn. Now look at its form figures: 6, 7, 7, 7. Now Velvet Morn, he needs he's running over 6 furlongs last twice, but he needs 7 furlongs. He probably needs a mile. But if there's a strong pace, this Velvet Morn could possibly come from the back along with this Mokolov. And I would say both of them would be coming from the back off a fast pace. But is this race going to be a fast pace? It's a fascinating race for me, betting and running, because it's pace dependent. Now, if Garth Rocket can control the pace, he's got a chance to kick on, and the ones at the back won't get they need a fast pace to run on, for them to build up that momentum from the round turn. They need that trip, they need the distance. Now, if Garth Rocket can kick on and lead, he's going to have a huge advantage, because he is a decent horse and he can't keep going on. Now this Ford, he takes a lot of while. He's been back, but I don't know why he's been back. Probably the jockey and Ben Curtis, but I think he needs further than 7 furlongs. I mean, he's been running at 5 furlongs. He's been just beat at 5 furlongs, 7 furlongs. But I think he takes a while to get into his races, and he doesn't do anything fast. I don't think Lingfield's going to suit him. I think Newcastle over a mile of straight track would suit this Ford. I'm very suspect, drawn in 10 about Ford, and I can't see why there's been money for him. It's obviously the jockey and the trainer. The trainer is a good trainer, Mohammed Mubrak, and he does get some decent horses to run well, and they always seem to be conditioned well, his horses, so they always seem to run well. But I don't think race conditions are going to suit this Ford at all, and it's, again, even if it's pace dependent, there's other horses that will get past him. If there's a strong pace, Mokolov and the other one, Velvet Morn, they will both go past that Ford without trouble. Now this Our Charlie Brown, is the one that's really, really interesting to me. Now the last 3 or 4 times he's ran, he just hasn't had the race run to suit. He's a very hard horse to win with. I know. People have followed him over a cliff. But this race could set up beautifully for Our Charlie Brown, because we have a front runner in Garth Rocket. Now, if Our Charlie Brown can sit behind Garth Rocket, he's going to have the race run perfectly for him. Now, Garth Rocket might not get headed. Garth Rocket might, Our Charlie Brown might not be able to head Garth Rocket. That's what I was thinking. But he's going to have the race run to suit. He's drawn from 8, and if he can sit just behind Garth Rocket, because he is a forward runner, Our Charlie Brown, he is going to have the race run to suit. But as I say, this race is so pace dependent. I mean, they're not going to go a pace the last time. Our Garth Rocket, they went absolutely so fast. They're not going to go that pace this time. I mean, that last race might have ruined our Garth Rocket. He might not do anything today. He might have just took loads out of him, that run, you see. So that's another thing I'm frightened of. And this would make Our Charlie Brown even more interesting if Garth Rocket is feeling the effects of the last race. And that's why the race is so fascinating. I mean, in the red, he was a good horse years ago. I mean, he can always pop up this in the red too. Noble Deeds, 100 to 1 out of his ground. But I think he can still run a decent race, Noble Deed, when he's on song. So this is a fascinating race. Now, I'm stuck between, what pace will they go? I was fancying Our Charlie Brown then to beat Garth Rocket. Then I was beating Garth Rocket. Then I was thinking he might have had a feeling the effects of a hard race. The two I think will be coming strongly is this number 8 Mokolov and this number 5 Velvet Morn. Now, if it is quite a decent pace, and Garth Rocket does try to go fast again, and then Charlie Brown tries to take him on, then that's the sort of pace you would want for this Velvet Morn and this Mokolov to come from behind, because they will be both finishing fast, and that could be your forecast, number 8 and number 5. But if it's a slow pace, if Garth Rocket just goes around slowly, he's going to have the advantage. And then that the forecast could be Garth Rocket and our Charlie Brown, because those two are going to be first. But Lingfield is track. Any. I would say that Cracker's going to go through the inside again. Not Cracker. This Luke Morris's ride. He's going to hit for the inside and sit there. I don't think that's going to be the place to be today. You've got to be 3 or 4 off the wide now. Adam Kirby's a master at this on this track. And if there's a pace for Adam, if there's not a pace, you can't win the race. He will know, I need a pace for this race, Adam Kirby, and then I can win the race. If there's half a decent pace, then Mokolov was going to come and win the race, right? And then this other one, getting the 7th furlongs, this Velvet Moon's going to be following him, and them two are going to finish fast. But if there's no pace in the race, if Garth Rocket makes it a slow pace, then Garth Rocket and our Charlie Brown, are going to be first, having a first, they're going to pick up quickly off their slow pace, and they're not going to get into the race, Mokolov and Velvet Moon. That's as simple as that. So basically, what we're looking at is betting and running, aren't we? We'll see how fast the pace is. To make a prediction now, I will just go for Mokolov to win the race, and hoping it's a half decent pace. And I would go for Velvet Moon to be the forecast. But as I say, I might look a fool if the pace is not strong, and then Garth Rocket just wins, and then our Charlie Brown follows him through. But our Charlie Brown's resolution at the end of the strong race is quite questionable. But when he's following the pace, he might have the rain to suit, and he might just have a bit more speed at the end there, and that's But anyway, I'll go for the favourite, Mokolov. He's been drifting, but it's probably people thinking there's not going to be any pace in the race. That's what they're thinking, and you've got two sort of forward horses in the race that could make it a strong pace in our Garth Rocket. But Garth Rocket could use his brain, and sort of hit the front and then just slow it down. And if that happens, he could possibly win. But I was thinking he had a really hard race last time, and that would bring our Charlie Brown into the race. It's very, very difficult, isn't it? You see what I mean? This is the race we're talking about, and the bookies have got an excellent chance of winning this race, and so have the punter. If he can work this race out, but I would say the best way to work the race out is see how fast they go in the first furlong, and if they don't go any fast, you'd be putting money on our Charlie Brown and our Garth Rocket in running. But if they go half a decent pace, then you're talking the favourite, Mokolov, and the other one, Velvet Moon. And that's it. We'll end there and send this out.